But now there's factions of people go, oh no, we got it, we don't like it, we've changed our mind, it wasn't going well for us, we don't like free speech anymore. People who want free speech, they only want free speech so they can go around saying awful things, which just isn't true. And even if it was, the good thing about free speech is people can say awful things back. It's a really good system, right? And you can't say anything under the laws of free speech. That's a total misconception. There are loads of caveats to free speech, all of which I agree with, actually. You can't incite violence, good rule. You can't slander people, good rule. You can't libel people, you know? Fascinating fact about libel law, you can't libel the dead. So I could stand here and say, Gandhi used to take it up the arse. If I wanted. Which I do. But free speech is the most important human right there is. It's the right from which all other rights come. Without free speech, you couldn't have human rights, you know, and we've got free speech, in theory, in this country, for a little while longer. We can criticise the government, we can criticise the police, but we should give props to a country that allows us to do that, because we're the envy of some countries. In some countries, you criticise the police, you get beaten up, or worse. You criticise the government, you can be thrown in jail for life, you know. So they flee their oppression, quite rightly. You know, so would you. They flee their oppression, and they come here, they go, we want to come to England. We go, why? They go, free speech. We go, come on in, welcome. What are you going to do now? We're going to go on a march. What are you going to say? How shit England is. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. That is their right. Have a great show. And I left. And as I was leaving, I saw one of the other lawyers lean in and show this head lawyer his iPhone. And the head lawyer went, oh, yeah. He went, oh, sorry, Ricky, can you come back a minute? Right, so I'm there. I went, yeah. So he had the phone there. They'd looked up the word minge. I thought I'd gotten away with it, right? So it's now like I'm getting told off. And the head lawyer said, now it says here that the word minge is a derogatory term for female genitalia. I went, well, yeah, it's a slang word for vagina in England. You don't even use it here, do you? He went, no, we don't, but we go out around the world, and with due diligence, now we know it's derogatory, we'll have to bleep that word live. I went, don't bleep the word, like, because people at home won't know what I've said. It'll ruin the... I said, it's literally the punchline. He said, if it's derogatory, I have to... I said, well, what word could I use that you wouldn't bleep? And he went, well, you could say vagina. I went, I'm not saying vagina, right? Nothing funny about it. It's so clinical. I was thinking, Judy Dench at home going, why is he talking about my actual vagina, right? I said, minge isn't like that. It's like, it's not so specific, because vagina's so... Where's your vagina? There, right? Where's your minge? There. It's like... Then one of the younger lawyers went, what about box? I went, I'm not fucking saying box, mate, right? So much for looking at your own box. Right? I said, minge is perfect. I said, people won't know what... If they're American, they won't know it. I said, it's not offensive. It's like... I said, kids use the word in England. Right? They weren't having it. So I said, what about flange? Right? So they looked up the word flange, right? And he went, well, that'd just be confusing, because in America, a flange is a part of a sink unit. I went, oh, well, I said, please let me say minge and don't bleep it. I was really rooting for minge. Right? It was like 12 Angry Men. I go, no one's leaving till I can say minge. Right? And after about 10 minutes, I wore them down. Whatever, said, oh, that won't work. So I was going, please. I said, I'll write them. You won't get any complaints and all this sort of... And eventually, the head lawyer went, OK, you can say minge. I went, and you won't bleep it? He went, no, we won't bleep it. I went, you promise? He went, yes. And I left. I knew they would. And they fucking did, right? So, when I said minge, I pointed. Oh, why do you like London so much, Rick? Because you get a round of applause for not shitting yourself. Right. But that's the next phase now. I reckon it's the next 10 years that I will. But as of now, my arsehole has never let me down. Very underrated, the human arsehole. Everyone goes, oh, the human brain, the greatest computer known to man. All the human liver can regenerate itself. Your arsehole is working 24/7. Even when you're asleep, it's like that. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. Nope. You're not coming out. And you're not coming in. Because it's like a sewer in there, isn't it? But you've got a lovely little manhole cover. Think of that in real life. Walking along a pavement, it's lovely pavement. If that burst, and you know what's in a sewer, don't you? Piss and shit and cum and dead goldfish, and fetuses. In China, just the girl ones. Relax. I'm at that age now as well, because I'm in entertainment. People say, oh, you can have a facelift. I go, no. Have you seen facelifts? They're still just that. Like that. You know what I mean? You go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, do you want to look old or Chinese? You know, it's like, nothing wrong with looking Chinese if you're Chinese. If you're not Chinese, it's a bit weird. It's offensive, but why is that allowed? You're not allowed to black up. It was considered a good thing to swap ideas with other cultures, with other nations, to share things with other races, to assimilate. It was the opposite of racist. Now it's racist. Gwen Stefani got in trouble in her last video because she had her blonde hair in dreadlocks. People go, no, black people invented dreadlocks, you can't have them, you're white, that's racist. Jamie Oliver got in trouble when he put out authentic jerk chicken recipe. People go, no, black people invented that, you can't have it, you're white, that's racist. Now, black people, they use the N-word, don't they? We invented that. That's the one, isn't it? That's the one. Listen, I know white people are the worst. I know that. That's why no one likes a fucking white middle-aged man anymore until we need a boiler fixing. Then it's get the bald bloke round now. Critical race theory, have you heard of that? Being taught in schools now, particularly in trendy areas like LA, right? Just like 5-year-old kids and 6-year-old kids. If you haven't heard it, in a nutshell, critical race theory says that all white people are racist. So that we're born racist and we continue to be racist because we're affording the privilege of a racist society set up by our forefathers, okay? So basically, all white people are racist and there's nothing we can do about it, which is a relief. All the time when I was little. I might be remembering it wrong, but not grown-ups, not your parents, not your grandparents. They grew up dodging bombs and their firstborn having polio and the menfolk dying at 50 of lung disease. They could take a fucking joke, right? It was all about the wind-up. I used to wind up my mum all the time. This is a true story. When I went off to university, after about a week, I phoned home. My mum answered. She went, oh? I went, it's Ricky. She went, you all right? I went, not really. I'm in hospital. I think I'm blind. She went, what? I went, no, I'm only joking. Right? She went, you silly bugger. She went, I could have had a heart attack, right? And she's right, she could have had a heart attack. And I knew that. That's how committed I am to having a laugh. You're welcome. You're welcome. Space travel, the last-ditch attempt. When we fuck this planet completely, can we leave its dying husk and move to a new one and start again? I don't think so. Not in my lifetime. Probably not in yours. You know, it's like the closest one, the only one viable, is Mars, and that's 9 months away on a rocket. Right? It's got no atmosphere, an average temperature of minus 70 degrees. How's this for irony? Scientists are working out whether they can detonate nuclear warheads. And this big guard showed me to this room, and he opened the door and he shut it behind me, and I looked. And there were suddenly 10 lawyers in suits. It was usually like this middle-aged woman in a jumper, right? And I thought, what the fuck's happened? I think, oh, is it because it's my last time and they're just making sure I don't say anything? Right? And they were there, and I went, hi. They went, hi. I said, should I do the monologue? They went, please. Tough crowd, right? So I had the monologue, right? And I was sort of going through, it was like 7 or 8 minutes long. So I was doing the jokes, and after each joke, I sort of looked up, and they were sort of going, making notes like that. A couple of the younger ones were going, like that, right? And I got to the end, and I went, that's it. And they went, good. I went, oh, great, oh, yeah. And then the head lawyer, he was about 60 years old, he had like white hair. He went, oh, yes, there was one thing. Now, I did this joke, I don't know if you remember. It went, the world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And it goes on, at one point I go, but Dame Judi Dench said it was the role she was born to play because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her back leg and licking her own minge, right? So, this lawyer went, he said, this is all true, by the way. He went, when you say James Corden is a fat pussy, that's just referring to his role in Cats, right? I went, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Nah. And he went, OK, great. I thought, this is easy. I wanted to go, call yourself a lawyer, right? And they'll be back with something madder. But remember who it is next time, right? It's always like these sort of educated, middle-class, privileged, elitist sort of people telling ordinary working-class people what they can and can't do and say and laugh, not realising how important comedy is to ordinary people. Like, when I was a kid growing up in Reading with nothing, right, humour was like a lifesaver. It was like a superpower, right? Not a real one, like flight, but you know what I mean? It's like, you ask anyone their superpower, I reckon 7 out of 10 will say flight, and 3 will go super strength or something, right? Which is great. If you're a superhero, flying around, being super strong, great. But sooner or later, a super villain will go, look at that cunt. I'm gonna get him and murder him, right? My superpower, they wouldn't even know it was me. They wouldn't even know there was a superpower being used. And it would get you out of any situation. My superpower would be the ability to make anyone instantly shit themselves. Think of it. You're getting mugged, and I point, they go, give me your wallet. You just go, they go, fuck. Oh, fuck. Game over. It's game over. That's another thing I'm very proud of. I can honestly say, in almost 64 years, I have never shat myself once. So, no, don't... No. Thinking they'd be loved forever. Eminent people going, there is a statue of me in the town square. And now they're pulling down the statues, aren't they? Going, pull down this fucking statue. Why? He was a slave trader. Pull down the fucking statue. He built the hospital. Should we pull that down? No, leave the hospital. Leave the hospital. Just pull down the fucking statue. Pull down the statue and dump it in the canal. He built the canal as well. It doesn't matter, just pull down the fucking statue. I don't think you should whitewash history. If you find out something new, add to it. Like if there's a statue and it's got Lord Whimsy, trader, philanthropist, add bit racist. Or one of those blue plaques on a house, go, Sir Robert Spuke lived here. Author, poet, pedo. I think we live too long. That's why we have time to worry about all this. We're not meant to live with sapiens. We've been around as hominids for a few million years. And of course, along with every other life form that exists at the moment, we've been evolving for 3.5 billion years. Everything that exists at the moment all came from the same little blob of organic matter 3.5 billion years ago. That's why it annoys me when people say, oh yeah, humans, we're the most evolved. We're not the most evolved. We're no more evolved than the slug or the snail. People go, oh, come on, look at them. Yeah, they got it right early doors. Nature keeps testing them. Do you want eyes? No. Not really. No. I have noticed one thing about the slug and the snail. Let's not split hairs, let's be honest. The snail is basically a slug with a shell on it, isn't it, right? But if you pull the shell off the snail, it starts giving it all, oh, I'm dying, I'm dying. And the slug is like, welcome to the real world, cunt. You know? So yeah, we've been around for about 300,000 years, and for most of that time, we had the same life expectancy as every other wild ape, 35, 40, if you're lucky. You're born, you grow, you mate, you're playing with your kids, you get a cut, you go, oh, what's that, dead? Right? But now with antibiotics in medicine, we've pushed that forward. A child born today can expect to live to about 100. And scientists said soon that'll be 120. This is my second night in New York. I did a few gigs in Los Angeles, but a lot of those we donated the money to the American Cancer Society. So this is better because I keep all the money. So, but we did raise thousands of dollars or hundreds of pounds, whichever way. What's it like being a third world country? Oh dear. I know what you're thinking straight away. Ricky Gervais, are you still doing stuff for charity? Shut up. No, don't. What? I do too much. No, I don't. What? How much did I raise for cancer alone last year? It doesn't matter. Why is it? What? Give us a ballpark figure. Millions. Millions. And they are welcome to it. But I will say this, if I ever get cancer myself, I'm going to walk into the nearest hospital and go, right, I paid for that machine. Get that little bald fucker off it. Talking of little bald fuckers, I did the teenage cancer gig last year. What? At the Royal Albert Hall. I'd done it before, I did it in 2006. But they called again last year. We're still ill. Okay, you lasted. No, it's a great gig. And the teenagers with cancer getting free and everything. That's the sort of guy I am. And they sit in the front row. Oh, lucky little... And they get to come backstage afterwards and meet me. What a treat that is for them. So much better than going to Disney World, where the rides can make you sick if you're in that state. So meeting me, it's thumbs up. So, and I was doing the gig this last time, and I looked down and I recognised one of them. I thought, oh yeah, he came backstage 2 years ago. He was telling me about his illness, and I signed some stuff for him, and he said, oh, he just turned 18 and how hard it was. And I was thinking, well, that was 2 years ago. So now he must be 20. So how the fuck is he still a teenager? Lying little shit. He wasn't lying about the cancer. He was riddled with it. It hurt him to laugh, but he shouldn't... So I was doing the gig, and he was laughing along, and I thought, yeah, you laugh it up, mate. I was fuming. And it got too much for me, and I went, all right, mate, I recognise you. He went, you came backstage 2 years ago. I went, yeah. You said you're 18. He went, yeah, so you're 20 now. He went, yeah. I said, get out. And I called security, and he struggled, but he was weak. They'd worked out, you could tell. Although they had trouble getting hold of him to start with, but then they got him and they pulled it. His drip nearly had someone's eye out. I went, get him out. The crowd started booing. I went, hear that? They don't want to see someone like you take the piss out of me. Off you go. Oh. Cheers, everyone. That's a big can, isn't it? I'm not showing off. I want you to know that is a big can, and I'm not a dwarf. Oh, I did a big charity gig last year for autism. And like most people, my only experience of autism until recently was Dustin Hoffman's brilliant portrayal in Rain Man. But I've just got this new house in London, and the neighbours were coming round and going, oh, yeah, hi, poking their noses in, basically. But I thought, you know, I'd be nice to them for now. When I get a big gate, they can fuck off. One couple, they've got an autistic son. And the mother was talking to me and said, oh, this is Douglas, he's 17, and he never goes out because he hasn't got any friends. So I thought, right, okay, this is where I can show him that, you know, I'm a rich, handsome man off the telly, but I've also got a heart of gold. And I said, oh, I'll take him out. I went, really? I went, yeah. So I went back on the Saturday, true, and she said, oh, he loves the zoo. And the zoo's only about a mile from my new house in Hampstead I live. And so I'm walking along the street with Douglas, okay, and he doesn't take his eyes off his mum all the way along the street like that. And his mum's in the doorway, and she's waving to him, and she's crying, right? Eventually she shuts the door and she goes indoors. I hailed a cab and said, right, take us to the casino. So, you've got to make it work for you, haven't you? So, I signed him in. He had a little suit on and everything. I thought, this is going to be brilliant, okay? I went straight to the blackjack table. That's their best one. I don't know why. They're brilliant at that. I went, okay, Dougie, you know the score. Bet 2 for good and 1 for bad. Do you understand? He went, yeah. I went, hoo. So I was betting. I was about £1,000 down in half an hour. And I went, sorry, hold on. Douglas, do that thing. Count the cards. Do that thing. Tell me when there's a good card coming. Tell me bet 2 for good. Do you understand? He went, yeah. So I was another £1,000 down. I thought, what sort of an autistic... So I was confused. I threw some toothpicks on the carpet. I said, how many? He went, I don't know. I said, there's 7. I can see there's 7 from here. Oh. Wow. Why did I get that one? So I took him back home and I said to the mother, there's been a mistake. He walks like Rain Man, but he's got none of that clever shit. I know it's wrong. But I don't want to talk about it, but I do an awful lot for charity. But I think some causes are more worthy than others. Joking aside, obviously cancer is a very worthy cause, autism's a very worthy cause. But I got asked to do a benefit gig recently for sufferers of obesity. What? She went, sufferers of obesity. I went, do you mean fat people? She went, no, because obesity is... Well, she actually went, no, because she was eating. She went, no, just, you know, between snacks, like... And she went, obesity is a disease. No, it's not, is it? You just like eating, don't you? No, it's not, is it? How is that a disease? Oh, I'm so fucking ill. I'm well ill. Oh. I said, what's the disease? She went, everything tastes good. Everything? Yeah. Not salads. It's not a disease, is it? Leprosy is a disease. Can you imagine Jesus in the temple? People shuffling up to him in bandages going, Jesus, my face is falling off. I can't stop now. There's a fat chick on her third pie. People say, they make excuses, don't they, fat people? They say, it's glandular. It's not glandular, it's greed, okay? It's big bones. Yeah, big bones covered in meat and gravy. They complain, and it's their own fault. Oh, I'm getting fat. Oh, look, I'm getting fat. Oh, aeroplane seats. They're not big enough for someone like me. No, they're not. Because if they were, we'd only get 12 fucking people on the plane. It's not fair. It is fair. That's what does it. And if we're talking about fairness and aeroplanes, why is it I get the same luggage allowance as a guy who's 400 pounds? We're both allowed to carry on 32 kilograms to the plane. I want to go, no, he used up his 32 kilograms on his tits. It's not a disease. I saw a documentary back in England about this woman who was 350 pounds because she ate 10 burger and fries a day. That'll do it. 10 separate meals of burger and fries. 10 separate trips to McDonald's, right? In a cab. Oh, didn't even walk that. Wasted calories, okay? So, to stop her eating these meals, they wired her jaw together. So she liquidized 10 burger and fries a day. Now she's on burger smoothies. Now she's not even chewing. That used up 3 calories. So lo and behold, she gets fatter. So they admitted her to have that thing done where you staple your stomach together. And she's sitting there in hospital, looking all depressed. Well, you can't eat for an hour before an operation, can you? Lank hair, smock. Christ knows where they got that, right? And she said, it's a really dangerous procedure, but it's the only option left. 1, jogging. You don't even walk. Right. Salad. You don't like the taste. 3, 9 burger and fries a day. It's a start, isn't it? It's a starter to her. Jesus. We have some fat people in Britain, but you, like everything else, are the gold medalists of that as well. Right? You'd win that in the Olympics. I saw this episode of Jerry Springer. It was called Jerry Springer Saves the World's Fattest Man. You've got to watch that. So he's there going, okay, let's try and save this guy's life. He's got a heart of gold as well. He's like me, right? So it cut to this guy at home in his house. They couldn't bring him to the studio. They had a camera crew there. And I say house, he was in a trailer, obviously. And he was. He was like a big blob on the bed. He sort of filled the trailer. He looked like an uncooked souffle. And you could just see like his eyes in this doughy mess. And he was going, I don't want to die, Jerry. I don't want to die. And I felt sorry for him. I got over that. And they said, how much do you weigh? And he weighed 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds. Now, my point is this. When he weighed himself one day and he was, say, 500 pounds, didn't he think then that was a lot? Didn't he go, that's a lot? For a human? For what is essentially a land mammal, that's a lot. I'm not having a go. I'm a little bit overweight myself. The other night someone shouted, no shit. I thought, it could be that. Wouldn't that be great? You go to the doctor, he goes, no, you're not overweight, you're just constipated. Woohoo! Start again. I'll tell you quickly, I had to go to the doctor for this tour, for this medical, I say tour, it's LA and New York, they're the main two, I didn't do the middle bit. Nothing wrong with the middle bit, if you're watching the DVD. I love the middle bit. I love the middle bit. I love all of America. I do. I do. I've got a film coming out. Now, listen. No, I had to have a medical. And I've had medicals before for TV shows, and they check your pulse and go, fine, you're not going to die in the next 6 weeks. Go ahead. But went along to Harley Street, and he said, oh, it's a bit more thorough than usual because it's, you know, it's a high insurance risk, this big gig. So I went, fine. He said, we need a urine sample. I went, yeah, fine. So he gave me this little file, right? And I went to the toilet, filled that up, good as gold, gave it back to him, still warm. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Oh, I know he's a doctor, it's wee, but when it's cold wee, it's sort of just chemical. But when it's warm wee, it's sort of biological. Do you know what I mean? It's from my body. It's warm because of my body heat. Some of which is probably willy heat. Do you know what I mean? No, but it is. I'm not saying I've got a very hot penis, but it's the same. What I'm saying is, it started off as core temperature, but then had to go through the willy, which kept it warm, like a lagged pipe. And it was only a very short journey, so it lost... It's fine, it's average, I don't know. I don't know, doesn't matter. It's, I'm 5'8", it's in proportion. It's fine. It's fine. It is. Absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I've got nothing to compare it with. Mine is the only one I've seen. I haven't seen it for a while. Doesn't matter. I'd look silly with like a 2-foot cock, wouldn't I? I'd look ridiculous. It would look ridiculous. Oh, look at my big cock. Well, you look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. You were better with the average one. Whatever size it is, it looks fine on me. Also, if I had a 2-foot one, I'd faint every time I got an erection, which would be... I'd just be lying there with no blood in me, just this cock up in the... It's fine. I've never thought about it before, but it's. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It really is. Now I'm worried that you think, oh, what? It's just, it's... If you saw me naked, you wouldn't go, that's the tiniest cock I've ever seen. You fucking wouldn't. You wouldn't make... You'd look, you'd go, as a naked man, you wouldn't have to squint. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. You wouldn't have to squint. You'd go, there's his penis, it's fine. It's fine. And the doctor can't tell you because he's taken an oath, so you'll never find out. Okay. So I gave him the wee, okay, the hot willy wee. Just from my bladder and average penis. And he went, thanks, right? He's loving that. Anyway, and then he went, can you strip down to your underpants? I went, okay. So I stripped down to my oh, fucking hell. Someone's parrots escaped. So he said, can you strip down to your underpants? I went, good as gold. Oh, the one day I wear white underpants. Big wet patch from the wee. Well, why didn't he warn me? Why didn't he say, be careful, I'll be checking your underpants in a minute. You don't check your underpants, do you? You do that, you put it away. Maybe that always happens, but I've never had a wee, then go, better check my underpants. That's the first time I've ever had a post-wee view of... So I thought, oh, how embarrassing. He's checking the wee, and he's going to turn around any minute, and he's going to see him. And he did. He saw it straight away. He sort of went like that and looked away, right? And I tried to hide it. I was one of those pairs that just a slit, and I tried to pull it over, but it pinged back, and he saw it. He even had to touch it when he said cough. It was really embarrassing, okay? But why am I telling you? Oh, yeah. So, anyway, so that happened. I wet myself, basically, in front of a doctor. Okay. I went home, and I told my mate, I said, what happened? And my mate said, you should have gone commando. Brilliant. Well, that would have been much less embarrassing, wouldn't it? So, according to him, I should go, oh, no, I've wet myself. What can I do? Oh, I know. I'll take them off, too. That's as dry as a bone, Doc. Should have gone commando. Do commandos not wear pants? Commandos must wear underpants, mustn't they? Mustn't they? Why aren't you wearing underpants? What? I'm a commander and I'm wearing underpants. I've never heard of that. I've never heard that phrase before. They're going to see that. At least. Oh, they're definitely going to see it now. There's barbed wire. You're going to lose that. Should have gone commando. Thank you. Oh. I'm a bit overweight myself, but I never worried about it before I was famous. And I'm not vain now. It's that you read about yourself, and the papers, they need an adjective. They can't just say, Ricky Gervais, comedian. They say things like, Ricky Gervais, tubby comedian. What? Why say that? Why bring that into it? It's like, you can't get more specific than your entire name. You know what I mean? Who's going, Ricky Gervais? What does he do? Comedian. Ricky Gervais, comedian. Fat bloke. Oh, I know, yeah. One paper called me rotund comic. I'm not rotund, am I? There was a picture in the 2 English papers this weekend, okay? A paparazzi got me in Los Angeles, and I was just sort of standing like that. And it was in the Daily Mail and the News of the World, and they put a question underneath it, is Ricky pregnant? I've been referred to as a chubby funster. That's like a gay porn name, isn't it? Oh, here comes the chubby funster. I was jogging once, right, with my iPod on. Yeah, looking good, right? Paparazzi got me. Full page in the paper the next day with a headline, iPodge. Cheeky bastards. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, all the charity work I do. I don't want to really talk about it, but I do. One of the first big charities I got involved with, years ago, was when I worked at the University of London, was the Terence Higgins Trust, which is the big AIDS charity in Britain. And it was sort of mid to late 80s, so people were still like, oh, what's this new thing called AIDS? What's this? Oh, it's gone from strength to strength now. It's doing very well. It's gone global. But got its own day and everything. 1st of December, World AIDS Day. I don't think it'll ever take off like Christmas, because it's got a wrong vibe about it. And the card companies have missed a trick. They're usually straight in for anything, aren't they? And you cannot get, sorry, you got AIDS cards. They don't exist. Or one that plays a little tune to cheer someone up, a little relevant tune. I don't know what a relevant tune would be, but I'm a 9-stone cowboy. It doesn't matter. But I won't do this in San Francisco. Because you had a bad gay. Oh, shut up. Shut up. No, but I learned a fascinating fact when working for the Terence Higgins Trust. People always learn stuff from my lectures. This is absolutely true. The first HIV virus was actually a combination of 2 separate viruses that joined in rhesus monkeys and made this rudimentary form of AIDS. And this was passed to chimpanzees. Sometimes chimps will get a bloodlust and eat a rhesus monkey, and it sort of evolved and mutated in chimps. And because we're 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, it was able to be passed to humans. And the first human contracted AIDS when he was chopping up chimp meat and he cut his finger, although that's the excuse I'd have given as well. You'd have to come up with something when you go to the doctor and you go, I feel terrible, doc. And he goes, well, I'm not surprised. You're the first human to contract AIDS. How would I got that? 2 ways. 1, you were fucking a chimp up the arse. Me? Fucking a chimp up the arse. No way. How else could I have caught it? I don't know, you could have been chopping up chimp meat and cut your finger. That one. Choppy, chimpy finger thing. I bet he went straight into the jungle and found that chimp. Went, you fucking gave me AIDS. I gave you what? You gave me AIDS. I gave you a blowjob. Shush, shut up. I got AIDS from you. Well, where did I get AIDS from? From eating monkeys. I don't eat monkeys. You're either eating them or fucking them. I was eating them. But the greatest thing I learned when working for that AIDS charity was that this is the best leaflet in the world. Okay? This is a real flyer that came round, issued by the Terence Higgins Trust. Okay? It came round the university I worked at in about 1989. Okay? And it was aimed at the last demographic of gay men who still weren't taking precautions. They treated HIV like an occupational hazard, and they were militant against the disease, but they wouldn't take precautions. So it's aimed at that last tiny demographic, so it's very hard hitting. The front cover is a bunch of bananas with the word fuck. I don't know why, And it's basically a 10-point plan of health advice to not contract HIV. And this is the title of this flyer. You know it's going to be good when this is the title. Okay? Ready? You know, you don't always have to have anal sex. It's good to know, isn't it? Think of an old couple in a doctor's waiting room. Just looking through Reader's Digest, and she goes, oh, what's this? Oh. You know, you don't always have to have anal sex. See, I fucking told you. Okay, and it's basically 10 suggestions of alternatives to that little act. Okay? I'll just read some to you. Number 1. Okay, this is real. Okay. Number 1. Why not? Always starts the same. Why not? Okay. It's a soft sell. They're not pushing it on you, but... Okay. Number 1. Why not just jack each other off? Look at that. I've got the new flyer, Larry. What does it say? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Let's do one now. Okay. No more up the arse for us. Number 1. Why not just jack each other off? All right. Oh. Number 2. Always starts the same. Why not? Right. Number 2. Why not just come on his back? It's the casual nature of it. Like it's a recipe. Why not just throw in an onion? Imagine going to the doctor. Hi, doctor, I'm a gay man. I'm in a relationship, but I'm worried about the threat of HIV. Is there anything I can do? Just come on his back. Number 3. Number 3. Oh, so I used to read this out to everyone I met, and they'd be laughing at number 1 and 2. I'll get number 3, they'd go, hey. Number 3. Why not just come in his hair? Not the hair. Not the hair. On the back, sure. On the back, go on. On the back, go on the back. Where are you fucking aiming that? No. Not on the hair, no, there. There. I don't trust you, I'm putting on a shower cap. Not the hair. Number 4. Oh, okay. I have not before or since heard such great use of the term e.g. as in this next sentence. Number 4. Why not try? So that people can think this is a bit difficult. Like, just please have a go. Okay. This isn't brain surgery, this next one, but they put in try. Okay. Why not... Why not try coming into some fruit? E.g. watermelon. Like, they put that out without that bit. People were going, well, what fruit? Oh, not a pineapple. Fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, what fruit? Need to be specific. We thought arses were all right. They're not. What fruit? Watermelon. Thank you. And on and on. Okay. I want to just skip ahead to number 10, okay? Because this may be the greatest sentence ever written. I'm including Shakespeare in this. Dickens. The Office. Number... Thank you. Are you ready for this? Number 10, okay? Now, I think the bloke writing these was struggling by now. I think he shouldn't have a political wing, you know. I'm political in my private life, like everyone, you know. Like, I'm sometimes incensed by the inequalities in our society. We're in the 7th richest economy in the world, right? And there's homelessness. There's 250,000 homeless people in Britain. Now, I wish there were no homeless people, because they're fucking horrible, aren't they? You know, oh, yeah, right next to the fucking cash point, you cheeky cunt. It is a serious problem, and I hope none of you ever find yourself homeless. But if you do, my advice is heroin. Cheers you right up, apparently. I've got one of those mates. My mate said this to me in all seriousness. He said, but the thing about heroin, Rick, he said, some of the greatest albums of all time were created on heroin, weren't they? I went, yeah, but they were created by some of the greatest artists of all time, weren't they? You're a plasterer, right? If I were to give you heroin, you wouldn't come up with Dark Side of the Moon, would you? You'd fall asleep watching the telly and burn the fucking house down. I should do topical stuff, but I never watch the news. I did see one thing recently on YouTube, actually. Do you know the little fella from Game of Thrones? The actor, Peter Dinklage. Do you know Peter Dinklage? Yeah. He was at a junket, and it was for a new thing he was doing, right? And they were filming it. That's why it got leaked onto YouTube. And I don't know what brought it up, but he suddenly started going off on one. Someone, oh, God. He was going, it's fucking disgusting. They're still doing productions of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. For Christ's sake, it's fucking demeaning. It's 2023. He wasn't happy. He was grumpy, wasn't he? He's got a point now, hasn't he? Obviously, he's got a point. But the thing is, it's all right for him, because he's a multi-millionaire Hollywood actor, and he's a great actor as well. He does Shakespeare and everything. A lot of dwarves in entertainment aren't that great. And so, dancing around Snow White for 3 weeks of the year, that is their, like, holy grail, and he's going to fuck it for them. If he takes that, what can they do? And he's not saying you should do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with normal-size actors. You can't do that either. You get in trouble for that in Hollywood, or you can't take a dwarf's job or a disabled person's job. Like, Eddie Redmayne got in trouble when he played Stephen Hawking in the biopic, The Life Story of Stephen Hawking, right? Won an Oscar for it, and that's when the backlash started. People going, no, it should be played by a real disabled creature, all this... Right? And they're going, the actor should have the same disability as the person they're portraying. But it was the life story of Stephen Hawking, right? So for the first part of the film, the cunt could walk, right? So I put it to you, what is easier? Getting an actor who can walk, pretend he can't, for the last bit of the film, or get an actor who can't walk, pretend he can for the first bit. How would that even fucking work? Puppetry, think. You can't always find an actor with the same disability as the person they're portraying. They're fucking actors. What if they did a biopic of Helen Keller, the deaf, dumb and blind girl? Well, what's the chances of finding a deaf, dumb and blind actress who can play that role? And if you did, you go right into the director and go, we found a deaf, dumb and blind girl. What did she say? She didn't even answer the fucking phone. Oh, don't get me started. Cultural appropriation. I mean, they've been trying to cancel me for about 15 years, and they've always failed. And often the people trying to cancel me have been other comedians writing for the posh papers, doing that thing they always say, he's punching down. Well, comedy should punch up. We only punch up. We punch up. Their idea of punching up, they have a go at Boris Johnson. How the fuck is that punching up? You know, the cunt is learning disabled. He's like this fucking waterlogged Gary Busey, fucking albino Eggman thing. He can't string a sentence together. Have you heard him talk? He's like, he's a fucking moron. I punch up. I have a go at people like, I don't know, Stephen Hawking, right? Yes, the greatest brain that's ever lived. He can take it. And he wouldn't even have minded when he was alive, because he's part robot, isn't he? I think he's basically a talking chair, so you can say what you want. And he was on Epstein's island, apparently, so fuck him. I don't... What was he doing there? Why do I want to go? Why? Why? You're like just there doing fuck. I would go, what? I know pedos who'd kill for a ticket to that. And he's just taking up a space. It's probably DEI or something. And they go, we need one. Like, I'll go, what are you doing here, Steve? He go, I'm thinking weird shit. Fuck off. That is probably a hate crime. That is. It's a big buzzword at the moment. Because I was reading about the tough time dwarves have had through history. Like, in medieval times, they used to torture them and kill them. They used to put them in barrels with spikes and roll them down the hill for a laugh, right? And then in Victorian times, they'd stick them in the circus and make them do dangerous fucking things. And then as late as the 1980s, right, I remember colleges used to have events like dwarf throwing, where they were like darts on a thing, or dwarf bowling. And eventually someone said, what the fuck are we doing? Can we stop making dwarves do shit for our entertainment? And it stopped. And now it's back. Now they're in the Special Olympics. Now they've got, they're going, let's race them. And, let's throw them in the water and see if they can swim. They can. So, it needs a bit of work, that one, doesn't it? I don't know. People don't realise how much goes into one of these tours. My last tour, I did 60 new material nights. Then I did like 25 work-in-progress shows. Then I did an 85-day arena tour around the world, honing it all the time. One critic sat at his kitchen table, said, lazy. He called me immature and vulgar. Four-eyed cunt. I'm at that age now where everything annoys me. I get about the Golden Globes. Is always, was someone so angry about what you said about them? They came up to you afterwards and want to throw, and I always go, oh God, no. I wouldn't even say if that had happened, because I don't like gossip, to be honest, right? There was one guy I thought took it the wrong way, right? It wasn't a bad, the cameras went to him, and I'm not in control of the cameras, so I think he was caught in the headlights. It was Elton John, right? But it wasn't a bad joke. I was introducing Madonna, okay? And I later found out that him and Madonna were in this feud, and he hated being mentioned in the same sentence as it. But I didn't know at the time. I was confused, right? And it wasn't part of the monologue, but I'm there for like 3 hours, right? And now and again, the stage manager put a head around the door and go, do you want to introduce so-and-so? And I'll go, yeah, fine. And I'll come out and I either do it straight or I ad-lib. And this was little ad-lib because I saw Elton in the front row, right? So this was the joke. I came out and I said, our next presenter is the Queen of Pop. Not you, Elton. Sit down, right? And he sort of went to him, he sort of went, and I was like, oh, fuck, he hated that. And I was thinking, why is he, I was like, oh, God, do you think I'm homophobic? Oh, I'm not homophobic. And there's always in my head. Then I thought, he must have heard worse, right? In the 1980s, right, when Elton John was in the closet, he wasn't out, he was married to a woman, right? He was also chairman of Watford Football Club. And he and his then wife would go along and watch Watford play, and the entire crowd would sing, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. Which puts my little quip into perspective, doesn't it? I don't know how football fans know how to start at the right time in the same key. Do they hand out sheet music before a fucking... We're doing Willy up the arse in C. Jeff's doing a solo. They get a traditional tune so everyone knows it, and they change the lyrics. Some genius changes the lyrics, right, to be as offensive about someone or something or somewhere or whatever, right? So the tune they used to use, I remember it, it was that old Cockney knees up song. My old man said, follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way. Do you know that one? Remember the term dilly-dally? They use it very creatively in their version, right? So this was their lyric. It was the 80s. It's not politically correct. I apologise. But they're football hooligans. What are you going to do, right? So let's analyse their genius lyrics, right? This is what they used to sing. Don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. I mean, you might. Not necessarily his, but, you know, like mathematicians amongst you would have to go, yeah, there's a slight... Like, if 1,000 people bent down when Elton was around, one of them might randomly... Someone might come off a bicycle and go, sorry, like that, and they go, oh, fuck, and the scientists will go, one. Do you know what I mean? There's a slight... Also, when Alton's around, that's ambiguous. That could fit, like, you could have two gentlemen having anal sex in a hotel room, right? And then the next day they find out that Elton John was staying in the next room. They go, oh, I got a willy up the arse when Elton was around, you know? I'll give them that. Anyway, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. He has the nerve to call us dear. We all know he's a fucking quill. Sorry, right? And it goes, he dallies and dillies. They've reversed it. Why? He dallies and dillies. He plays with people's willies. Again, I don't know what play with means in this context. It could be like, wow. It could be anything, couldn't it? Wow. I thought you were going to suck it. No. He dallies and dillies. He plays with people's willies. He's up every arse in town. I'd stop him there. I'd go, no, you know, that is provably false. He's not up every arse in town, is he? We can prove that. Right, take a small town. Take Watford. 120,000 people. He is not up 120,000 arses, is it? I mean, half of them are women, so 60,000 tops, right? And I don't think he's been up 60,000. And if he has, good luck to him, but that's not my point. This is my point, right? What did his then wife think of that? Because he's in the closet, right? You know, and she's just married Elton John the Pop. She couldn't be, she's in love. She's so proud of him. Elton John, and he's chairman of Watford. She goes like, I'm married to Elton John the Pop star. I'm married to Elton John the Pop star. And then the entire crowd sing, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. She must have gone, why are they singing that? I've just, I said earlier, I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes, and that is absolutely true. But I've just remembered a joke that I stopped myself because I bottled it a bit. And I think I was being overcautious. I want to share it with you, right? So I got the chance to introduce Jason Momoa. Do you know who Jason Momoa is? Yeah, right? So I thought the meta joke would be to show my hypocrisy and my cowardice. Like, I'm okay to slag off actors. Who's scared of actors? But when it comes to a big dude, right, I'm not so brave. So I was going to go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter because he's got a cock like a baby's arm, right? And I told my mate I was going to do that, and my mate went, do you think people think that's racist? I went, why is it racist? He went, well, because he's a person of colour. And I went, no, but it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the fact that he's so big that he'd probably have a cock like a baby's arm, right? So I didn't do it, and I had a great follow-up as well. I'll tell you the whole thing. This is the whole thing. This is what I was going to do, right? Right. So I go out and go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter because he's got a cock like a baby's arm. Unlike Peter Dinklage, who's got an arm like a baby's cock. It's great to hear this sort of laughter again, because you probably don't notice it as much as comedians, but we've had a really weird 10 years where we're really second-guessing, going, is that okay? I don't know what they're all... People could find anything offensive, but we pushed back and we won, so fuck them. Until the next time. They haven't gone away. I looked up one film on here, Schindler's List. Absolutely real. Schindler's List, doesthedogdie.com. Right. First question, does a dog die? No. Does a cat die? No. Are any animals abused? Someone answers, there is a chicken that's handled roughly, but otherwise unharmed. Now, I love animals more than anyone I know, but if I was Jewish, I'd be slightly offended by this avenue of questioning. Imagine that in real life. Imagine someone says, oh, yeah, my grandparents were murdered by the Nazis. You go, oh, what happened? Oh, they were dragged from their house and sent to the gas chamber. Oh, was a chicken hurt? What? But as I say, it's become, you can ask any question about anything. Someone says, is there child abuse? Is teeth damaged? Is there a hanging? Does someone struggle to breathe? Yeah. Well, yeah, yes. Someone says, does someone fall downstairs? Who's scared of slapstick? It's like... Anyway, so this website was founded in 2010, so it's run about 13 years, right? And the later questions start reflecting the times we live in now, and they get more and more fragile and narcissistic. These questions were asked this year. Check it out, Schindler's List, right? Someone says, are there any fat jokes? And sometimes I just run around flushing them for a laugh, like that. Just so that in 40 years' time, Greta Thunberg has to shit out of a window. I've got 28 radiators. I always have them on full. Then I put the aircon on full, and it sort of settles at about 20 degrees. A lovely... It's how the cat likes it. She loves it at 20 degrees, and I spoil my cat. I love cats. I love having a cat. Think about it. Cats are great, but if you let them out, they bring home the most disgusting things. Last week, mine brought home a scouser with herpes. And it wasn't quite dead, so I had to get it by its legs and crack its head against the table. Ooh. And who cares? If humanity was wiped out today, the Earth would return to a paradise in a few hundred years. If we lose bees, we're a desert forever. We're not that important. We're just one species of narcissistic ape. And some people on social media get annoyed when I say we're apes, you know, religious types, Americans. One bloke said to me, speak for yourself, dude, I ain't no ape. And I sent back, well, you are, because we're all... I think the world's going to get harder and harder to understand as I get older and more bewildered. A new dogma arises in the name of progress. Now, dogma is never progressive, however new and trendy, but I think soon I'll be outnumbered. And, like, it was only this year that I ordered my first item off Amazon. All the way through the pandemic, Jane's like, bang, things are arriving, we need this, bang, it's here. Right? And I was going, oh, and she goes, it's easy. I go, I never liked real shopping either, hated real shopping, particularly clothes shopping. I hated clothes shopping when I was young and thin. I really hate it now I'm fat and old, right? Once, a shop assistant thought I had my inside leg and my waist measurement the wrong way round. I could see her thinking, do you have an orangutan, sir? No, it's for me, you cheeky... Yeah, I never like real shopping, but I don't trust the internet either. And Jamie's going, just put in your credit card. I don't want to have my credit card details. She went, everyone's got your credit card details. Just put the number in. I went, what one? She went, the long one. She went, oh, fuck me, give it here. There, you're on. Order something. So I thought, oh, I don't want anything. Oh, tracksuit bottoms. You can't have too many. I wear mine till the bollocks fall out, right? So I put in men's tracksuit bottoms, black, zip pockets, about 38 different. Oh, fuck me, they look all right. Size chart. I go, well, they'll be a bit long, but they'll be a bit tight. I thought, $9.99. I thought, oh, fuck it, who cares, right? So I ordered them. They came the next day. I opened them up. They were shit. Now, I don't know what sweatshop they were made in or what little 8-year-old Chinese kid made them, but he should be fucking punished because they... And I was looking at where to fucking complain to get him fired, right? And I found out that these kids only get $2 a day in these fucking places, right? But what happened to pride in your work? Do you know what I mean? And I can tell, some of you are thinking, oh, yeah, but he didn't think Ricky Gervais would order them. Well, no, but maybe you should be told there's a chance that Ricky Gervais might order them. His owner should sit him down, right, and say, if Ricky Gervais orders these and complains, I'm going to rape your mummy again. What, is that too much? Sorry. Leave it with me. Leave it with me. And as I said, I think this is my most honest and confessional show so far. So I want to talk about something I haven't talked about before, and that's to give you a glimpse behind the curtain of the Golden Globes. Right? And thank you. I last hosted the Golden Globes in 2020. It was the 5th time over a 10-year period, and I liked them more and more, and the last one was my favourite, because the world changed in that 10 years. You know, like the first time I hosted them in like 2010, the press of America, I hated me. Right? Who is this annoying Brit insulting the most important people on the planet? By the last time I hosted, they were like, yeah, go on, fuck them. Fuck them, right? Because ordinary people had got sick and tired of being lectured by these multi-millionaire, nothing wrong with that, these liberal elite entertainers telling them how to vote and how to recycle, when everyone knew they were getting free jet rides to Pedo Island. So It really hit the zeitgeist. But it was always the same deal. Whenever they said, do you want to host? I said, yeah, I'll host. I said, but I'm going to write all my own jokes, which was unheard of, apparently. I said, I'm going to write all my own jokes, and I'm not going to rehearse, so you can't hear the jokes beforehand, and you can't cancel any. And they let me do that. I did have to show a lawyer the jokes about an hour before to make sure I hadn't broken any laws, and I never had, because I know the law. Sometimes the lawyer would go, are you sure you want to say that? Right? And I go, is it legal? They go, yep, technically. I go, let's do it, right? I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes. That says something about them, to be fair, right? So, anyway, thank you. This last time, they said, oh, you've got to see the lawyer the day before now. I went, OK, great. So I was driven to the Beverly Hills Centre, and they're all setting up, right? And the photos of the A-listers are all in their chairs. I go, oh, there's Brad, there's Leo, there's Bob, oh, this one. And someone's really annoying me. I just sort of stare at them, and I just imagine us both dead one day. And it's sort of, you know, like here I was thinking, oh, imagine the pilot going, oh, we're going to, the plane was going down, right, we're going to die. And I look over it, and she's going, ah, and I go, ha, 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 ha. And then the plane just smashes into a mountain, and we're all fucking burnt. But I live 1 second long enough just to look over and see her totally fucked. Whatever gets you through, you know? So we got to San Francisco, and we went on a little day trip. We went to this place called Sausalito, this lovely little harbour town. We were walking around, but about 11 a.m., because of the jet lag, we were starving. We thought, oh, we need lunch. So we found this restaurant that was open at 11 a.m., empty, of course, which is my idea of a perfect restaurant, empty, right? We sat by the window. We were looking out over the bay. There was a sea lion bobbing round. A pelican landed. The waiter brings our food. Then suddenly, in all that peace and perfection, out of the kitchen doors comes a busboy, and he just stands in this empty restaurant, and he goes... I looked at him, I looked at Jane. Jane didn't even look up. She just went, nothing we can do. Like that. So I'm all alone, right? And the sweat starts. I just get a sweat, right? I go, OK, he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. Sure enough, I bang my fork against the plate, and I just look at him like that. And Jane goes, he doesn't know why you're staring at him. I go, I want him to know. I want him to go, you OK? I go, not really. You know, you keep doing that, right? Jane goes, for heaven's sake. He's a busboy. He's at work. Let's just eat and go. So meal ruined, right? And I wasn't allowed to do anything, right? So this is how I got through the last 10 minutes of that meal. It's absolutely true, right? I'm eating. Every time he went, I went, cunt! That is what you get. That is what you get. I did want this show to be... Here you go. I love illegal immigrants. Yeah, sue me now. Sometimes I go down to Dover for the day, right? And I look out, right? I look for a boat, and I see a dinghy with about 60 of them, and I go over here, like, right? And I pull them into shore, and I go, women and children first. They go, there are no women and children. Just you lads, is it? Just, come on, lads. Come on, lads. If I go down there one day and there's no boat, I am absolutely fucking gutted. I just sort of wander into town, and I stand by the traffic lights, and I wait for a big lorry to pull up, right? And I look underneath, and there's a lad sort of clutching like that. And I go, where you headed? And he goes, Gary Lineker's house. I go, it's just down there. Yeah. Fuck borders. Fuck, we don't need borders, do we? Be like the Vikings. They didn't care about borders, did they? I've got a little bit of Viking blood in me. Well, we all have, because of all the raping they did. They say it was raping and pillaging, but I think it was mainly for the raping. I think they added the pillaging bit for the wives. You know what I mean? They went down one day and went, right, we're off to Great Britain. Oh, why? Just a bit of pillaging. Just pillaging. Just pillaging, babe. All right. Why are you wearing your in society? One, be competent at something. Like, oh, he's a good hunter. Go with him. He's good for the tribe. The other way you can raise your status is have virtue. Like, oh, he's not a great hunter, but he's wise or kind or whatever, you know. And then, with the advent of social media, people suddenly discovered they could just say they were virtuous. No evidence, no proof, just loads of flags in their bio, right? And they would raise their status by bringing other people down, catching other people out. Oh, look what he said. Oh, he's not as virtuous as me. Look how good I am. Look how bad. And that's where the term virtue signalling comes from, right? And I hate it when they bring their kids into it. You can believe what you want, have opinions what you want, vote how you want, but go on a march, great. But when I see a 5-year-old holding a placard, he doesn't know what that says. That's the adult, you know. Like I saw someone tweet this once. Someone tweeted, my 4-year-old just looked up at me and said, Mummy, why does Rishi Sunak hate poor people? Never fucking... I get about the Golden Globes is always... Was someone so angry about what you said about them, they came up to you afterwards, and I always go, oh, God, no. I wouldn't even say if that had happened, because I don't like gossip, to be honest, right? There was one guy I thought took it the wrong way, right? It wasn't a bad... No, the cameras went to him, and I'm not in control of the cameras, so I think he was caught in the headlights. It was Elton John, right? But it wasn't a bad joke. I was introducing Madonna, okay? And I later found out that him and Madonna were in this feud, and he hated being mentioned in the same sentence as her. But I didn't know at the time. I was confused, right? And it wasn't part of the monologue, but I'm there for like 3 hours, right? And now and again, the stage manager put a head round the door and go, do you want to introduce so-and-so? And I go, yeah, fine. And I come out and I either do it straight or I ad-lib. And this was little ad-lib because I saw Elton in the front row, right? So this was a joke. I came out and I said, our next presenter is the Queen of Pop. Not you, Elton. Sit down, right? And it sort of went to him, he sort of went... and I was like, oh, fuck, he hated that. And I was thinking, why is he... I was like, oh, God, do you think I'm homophobic? Oh, I'm not homophobic. There's always in my head. Then I thought... He must have heard worse, right? In the 1980s, right, when Elton John was in the closet, he wasn't out, he was married to a woman, right? He was also chairman of Watford Football Club. And he and his then wife would go along and watch Watford play, and the entire crowd would sing, "Don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse." Which puts my little quip into perspective, doesn't it? I don't know how football fans know how to start at the right time in the same key. Do they hand out sheet music before we're doing Willy up the arse in C? Jeff's doing a solo. They get a traditional tune so everyone knows it, and they change the lyrics. Some genius changes the lyrics, right, to be as offensive about someone or something or somewhere or whatever, right? So the tune they used to use, I remember it, it was that old Cockney knees-up song. My old man said, follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way. Do you know that one? Remember the term dilly-dally? They use it very creatively in their version, right? So this was their lyric. It was the 80s. It's not politically correct. I apologise. But they're football hooligans. What are you going to do, right? So let's analyse their genius lyrics, right? This is what they used to sing. Don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. I mean, you might. Not necessarily his, but, you know, like mathematicians amongst you would have to go, yeah, there's a slight... Like, if 1,000 people bent down when Elton was around, one of them might randomly... Someone might come off a bicycle and go, sorry, like that, and they oh, fuck, and the scientists will go, one. Do you know what I mean? There's a slight... Also, when Elton's around, that's ambiguous. That could fit... Like, you could have two gentlemen having anal sex in a hotel room, right? And then the next day they find out that Elton John was staying in the next room. They go, oh, I got a willy up the arse when Elton was around, you know? I'll give them that. Anyway. Don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. He has the nerve to call us dear. We all know he's a fucking queer. Sorry, right? And it goes... He dallies and dillies. They've reversed it. Why? He dallies and dillies. He plays with people's willies. Again, I don't know what play with means in this context. It could be like, wow. It could be anything, couldn't it? Wow. I thought you were going to suck it. No. He dallies and dillies. He plays with people's willies. He's up every arse in town. I'd stop him there. I'd go, no, you know, that is provably false. He's not up every arse in town, is he? We can prove that. Right, take a small town. Take Watford. 120,000 people. He is not up 120,000 arses, is it? I mean, half of them are women, so 60,000 tops, right? And I don't think he's been up 60,000. And if he has, good luck to him, but that's not my point. This is my point, right? what did his then wife think of that? Because he's in the closet, right? You know, and she's just married Elton John the pop. She couldn't be, she's in love. She's so proud of him. Elton John, and he's chairman of Watford. She goes like, I'm married Elton John the pop star. I'm married to Elton John the pop star. And then the entire crowd sing, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. She must have gone, why are they singing that? So this show is called Armageddon, and it's all about how I think humanity might end, because there's a long list of possibilities, you know. We're on a precipice, you know. It could be anything from global warming, the rise of the pandemic, you know, nuclear war, our own stupidity, basically. Because we are getting more stupid as a species, no doubt about that. You can now do a university degree course in Taylor Swift. How fucking low academically can you go? There's an institute in London called the School of Flower Arranging. I went past it, I couldn't believe it. School of Flower Arranging. I looked in, and there's people having lectures. Flower arranging. My mum used to pick flowers every day from the garden, cut flowers, put them in vases around the house. At no point did anyone come round and go, what unqualified cunt did these? Yeah, the Earth is in a terrible mess, and it's my fault, my generation's fault, and the generation before, the boomers, with their deforestation and their fossil fuels, ruining the ozone layer, raising the temperature by a few degrees, so parasites, you know, bacteria, and these zootropic pandemics are just going to get worse and worse. Like, if you're 20 years old now, you're going to have a very different middle age to me. I've had the best 60 years of civilization, right? But if you're 20 now, in 40 years' time, you're going to be in your house wearing a mask, crying. Like you do now over jokes. And I'm not going to be around to see that, but I am going to spend my entire fortune from now on private jets to make sure it definitely fucking happens. We're going to be the first generation that future generations are jealous of, right? Because we had it all, and we're using it all up. We're using up all the fresh water. We're using up all the fossil fuel, right? Usually you look back in history and you feel sorry for it. You go, oh, how did they live like that? Oh, how did they get around? No indoor toilets. I've got Homo sapiens. We've been around as hominids for a few million years. And of course, along with every other life form that exists at the moment, we've been evolving for 3.5 billion years. Everything that exists at the moment all came from the same little blob of organic matter 3.5 billion years ago. That's why it annoys me when people say, oh yeah, humans, we're the most evolved. We're not the most evolved. We're no more evolved than the slug or the snail. People go, oh, come on, look at them. Yeah, they got it right early doors. Nature keeps testing them. Do you want eyes? No. Not really. No. I have noticed one thing about the slug and the snail. Let's not split hairs, let's be honest. The snail is basically a slug with a shell on it, isn't it, right? But if you pull the shell off the snail, it starts giving it all, oh, I'm dying, I'm dying. And the slug is like, welcome to the real world, cunt. You know? So yeah, we've been around for about 300,000 years. And for most of that time, we had the same life expectancy as every other wild ape, 35, 40, if you're lucky. You're born, you grow, you mate, you're playing with your kids, you get a cut, you go, oh, what's that, dead? Right? But now with antibiotics and medicine, we've pushed that forward. A child born today can expect to live to about 100. And scientists said soon that'll be 120. And science also said that in the near future, there's no reason with proper care and attention that human beings won't regularly live to 150 years old, which is amazing until you remember that we get a set number of brain cells, right, which we only lose. You can't get them back. So in the future, there's going to be 15 billion people on the planet, you know. Half of them are going to be over 100, and they're all going to have Alzheimer's. It's going to be like Dawn of the Dead. It's going to be fucking horrible. You know? My auntie died of Alzheimer's. I don't know how you die of Alzheimer's. She forgot to live, right? And for the last couple of years, she was in a home, And my cousin, her only kid, used to visit her like once a week, and it got more and more depressing because soon she didn't recognise him, and then she didn't know who she was, and then she died. And at the funeral, we were sort of reminiscing about the good days, some of the funny, absent-minded things she said and did, and we realised, probably that was the beginning of the disease before it was diagnosed. And this is a true story. Once, my cousin went home from work, and he went in, and she went, "Your tea's in the oven. I've had mine already." He went, "Oh, cheers, Mum." And it was like a fish pie, right? He ate the fish pie, and he went, "Oh, God." And he ran upstairs, vomited, went back down and went, "Mum, the fish is off. I've just been really sick." And she said, "Yeah, it made me really sick." I don't know how humanity will end, as I say. There's a long list, everything from, I can't believe nuclear wars back on the table after all we've learned. But I think maybe the rise of the pandemic where parasites and microbes and bacteria and our antibiotics fail, or maybe those things that happen, but we're sort of evolved through it. Like, we'll find out there's pockets of sort of mutant people around the world that are slightly resistant to radiation and slightly resistant to microbes, and we'll sort of start again. Because we don't really understand the mechanism of human evolution since civilization, because it's never been based on, survival of the fittest, where fittest meant just the biggest, strongest male gets to pass on his genetic material. There's other paradigms, right? Nature is brutal. Sometimes it is the biggest, strongest male that gets the female, and even then, she has a litter. If there's a runt, she goes, "Fuck it, kill that, eat it, share it out amongst the rest of us." Now, we don't do that in human society. We go the other way. We spend more time and care and attention on the weak and the vulnerable to give them a chance. Like, if you're a father and you've got 2 kids, you've got little Timmy, who's 6, right? You've got Jack, who's 8, and you go to little Timmy, you go, "Timmy, what do you want for Christmas?" And he goes, "Motorised wheelchair." I promised Jane I wouldn't do the voice, and I fucking forgot. It's too late now, isn't it? "What do you want for Christmas, Timmy?" "Motorised wheelchair." Right, well, they start at $2,000, so fucking hell. "What do you want, Jack?" Just a tennis racket, please, Dad." "Oh, good lad. How is your tennis?" Best in the school." "Oh, you good." "Also a ramp." Fuck me. So now we're doing fucking building work at Christmas, are we? Fuck me. "Oh, sorry, Jack, can't afford your tennis racket. We've got to spend all the money on a ramp and a motorised wheelchair for this money-grabbing little fucking..." "Why do you need a motorised one?" "No arms." That's fair enough. That is fair enough. I can tell some of you feel a bit uncomfortable laughing at little Timmy, who's a little 6-year-old lad. He's got a funny little voice because his chest is all fucked. Got no arms, no legs, just like stumps, right? But let me tell you something about Timmy to make you feel better about yourselves. He's a fucking racist. Yes. Horrible little shit, he is. You little fucking bigot. You disgusting little fucking racist, you racist scum, you filthy little fucking, you fascist, you fucking, you disgust me. Homophobic? Yeah. He's like, "They're not like us." Nothing's like you disgusting little fucking, you prejudiced little piece of, you ball of hate, you disgusting little fucking racist homophobe. I wish we'd had a scan. You absolute, misogynist. If he could, he'd rape. There's your little Timmy. Some people don't think we evolved in the first... Harold Shipman knocking round. Do you know what I mean? Those of you too young to know who Harold Shipman is, right? He is our most prolific serial killer, right? He killed 300 people. He killed old people. That's my point. He'd have his eye on me, go, "Oh, give him a few more years." And he was a doctor, right? But the reason you haven't heard of him, right, is because he never appears in those lists of the worst serial killers. And he was Like, one of the worst ever. But he didn't act like a serial killer, right? He was a GP. He was old school. He had a little shirt and tie, little tweed jacket, little beard, little glasses. He'd do house visits. He'd go on to see Edna, 85. You all right, Edna? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Yes, please. And he'd make Edna a lovely cup of tea, right? Then he'd just put her in a lethal amount of opioids, right? And he'd just give Edna the tea and watch her drink it and fall asleep and die. And that was it. He didn't even masturbate. You know, yes, it is a waste, sir, yeah. And they reckon he got the idea when he was a little lad, Harold Shipman, little Harold Shipman. He watched his mum dying of lung cancer, being given morphine, and somewhat triggered him. He thought, I'll grow up, become a doctor, and I'll do this. I don't know whether it means that he liked the way the morphine got his mum out of pain. So these were like mercy killings, like, you know, reliving the kindness. Or the opposite, he was jealous of old people who lived longer than his mum should have, so he was punishing them. I don't know, doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter, because if you can really understand... I was doing an interview a while ago. I don't think the journalist liked me. He asked me this question. I thought it was rude, right? So I gave a fake answer, right? He said, what have you got planned for your funeral? And I went, I want to be fed to the lions at London Zoo. He went, really? I went, yeah. I want the zookeeper to take up my big, fat, dead, naked, bloated body in a wheelbarrow, right? Just dump it in the lion's den, doof, like that. Loads of tourists going, is that the bloke from The Office? Like that, right? And then 2 big lions come out and just start eating me. And lions, they start with the soft bits of the body to get inside to the rib cage. So they'd probably get a testicle each, wouldn't they? Because that'd be the easiest of it. By then, my testicles would be about a yard apart, so they'd be easy. They just start eating towards me. Like Lady and the Tramp, really romantic. So I said that as a joke, but he totally believed me. So much so that when he was writing up the article, he called London Zoo and asked them if that would be allowed, and they said, no, of course not, right? So when the article came out, the headline was, London Zoo refused Ricky's request to be fed to lions. Like I'm a fucking psychopath. My point is, you can't worry about what happens after you die. I looked up one film on here, Schindler's List. Absolutely real. Schindler's List, doesthedogdie.com. Right. First question, does a dog die? No. Does a cat die? No. Are any animals abused? Someone answers, there is a chicken that's handled roughly, but otherwise unharmed. Now, I love animals more than anyone I know, but if I was Jewish, I'd be slightly offended by this avenue of questioning. Imagine that in real life. Imagine someone says, oh, yeah, my grandparents were murdered by the Nazis. You go, oh, what happened? Oh, they were dragged from their house and sent to the gas chamber. Oh, was a chicken hurt? What? But as I say, it's become, you can ask any question about anything. Someone says, is there child abuse? Is teeth damaged? Is there a hanging? Does someone struggle to breathe? Yeah. Well, yeah, yes. Someone says, does someone fall downstairs? Who's scared of slapstick? It's like... Anyway, so this website was founded in 2010, so it's run about 13 years, right? And the later questions start reflecting the times we live in now, and they get more and more fragile and narcissistic. These questions were asked this year. Check it out, Schindler's List, right? Someone says, are there any fat jokes? Would that make this worse? Well, imagine the real thing. Imagine I'm in a concentration camp, right? I'm naked, everyone around me is naked. We've got a commandant herding us towards a gas chamber, and he goes, move it, fatty, right? And I go, rude. No, that has ruined the whole experience, if I'm honest. Someone asks, is there hate speech? Yeah, there is. Suck it up, Buttercup. Are there any man in a dress jokes? Very few jokes. If you've come to this film for a giggle, you're going to be very disappointed. But this one takes the biscuit for me. Remember, this is a movie set in the 1940s about arguably the worst atrocity in civilized human history. Check this out. Is someone misgendered? Fucking hell. This is quite sweet. Is there any anti-Semitism? Yeah. This is pretty much the mother load, right? Forget Kanye. This is off the fucking charts. Don't do that when you're talking about this. Fuck's sake. I was doing the graph. I was doing like that. This is off the charts. That's... Wouldn't things have been different if that was Hitler's salute?